Right, so this is the Bulls Nighthawk 1 again. I've had the bike for about 1 month and I've ridden about 120 kilometers on it. I've also added some accessories to the bike. So I thought I'd make a video showing the top 5 road bike accessories. So starting with number 5, we have the saddle bag. This saddle bag is very useful. In it you can keep extra tubes, a patch kit, you can keep tire levers in case you get a flat tire. I got a flat tire once and I had to call someone to pick me up. If I had this saddle bag, that wouldn't be necessary. So after getting that flat tire, I went and added this saddle bag to the bike. Right, so I keep an extra tube in it. And you can also keep tire levers. This makes it easier to change the tire. And a patch kit in case you need to patch a tire. Right? So number 4 on the list of top 5 road bike accessories, I would say is your pump. Because if you're on the road and you get a flat tire, you'd need a pump to pump up your tire. Right? And this particular pump has a gauge on it, a pressure gauge to show what is the PSI or the bars that you're at. So you can always pump to the recommended PSI. Right? So number 3 on the list of top 5 road bike accessories is the water bottle. Right? You know the hot climate we have here in Trinidad? A water bottle is necessary, is a must. And I chose to put a 1 liter water bottle rather than put in 2 700 milliliter bottles or 2 500 milliliter bottles. I just put one 1 liter bottle. So I have that extra mounting point where I can put something else. So number 2 on the list of top 5 road bike accessories is your lights. Right? Sometimes you might be riding and you may not intend to ride in the night, but you may just end up out after dark. The sun may set while you're riding, and the road bike, you know, you need visibility in order to be safe. So these are rechargeable lights. Right? The brand is Psycho Light. You could look it up on Amazon. Right? And there's lights for the front as well. And they flash to increase visibility. Right, so you must have lights on your road bike. And these lights in particular, they are very light, right? So they are very suitable for maintaining the light weight of the road bike. And the number 1 road bike accessory, I would say definitely, is the clipless pedals. Right, so these are just a pair of entry-level road bike pedals. Right, and they allow you to clip in while you're on the bike so that you're not just pushing down the pedals, you're also pulling it up as well. Right, so you get a more complete pedaling action. Right, so this increases your pedaling efficiency. So you find that climbing hills, you find that riding with speed, all of this becomes easier because you're pushing down on the pedal, you're also pulling up. You're using more leg muscles. So you find it's not necessary to come off the bike and walk up a hill, for instance. It's easier to pedal up a steep hill. Right? It's easier to go fast on the bike. Right? And I didn't always have road bike pedals. Right? I didn't always have clipless pedals. I initially bought this pair of normal pedals. Right? And with this you could only push down on the pedal. So you find that when you're climbing a hill, you may become exhausted and you may have to come off and walk. But that is not necessary with the clipless pedals. Right? Because you're pushing on the pedal, you're also pulling. So this makes pedaling up hills, riding fast. You know, all of this becomes easier with the clipless pedals. Right? And when you have clipless pedals, you also need a pair of cycling shoes. Right? So I have this pair of Bontrager shoes. Right? They have the clips on them so that you clip into the pedals, you always remain attached to the pedals. Right? So this is by far the number 1 road bike accessory. This makes the difference between a road bike and any other bike. Right? In addition to the lightness, the aerodynamic nature of it. Right? The clipless pedals, I would say, make the road bike far more efficient, you know, than any other type of bicycle, right? In addition to the thin tires, it's very efficient to ride a road bike, especially with the clipless pedals. Right, so I have some other accessories that didn't make the top 5 list, like this action cam. It's just a cheap action cam that I got to record when I'm cycling. It's useful to have one, right? And you could also have your smartphone recording your GPS coordinates while you ride. And from this, you can get data on the route, the cycling route, as well as the speed in kilometers per hour, miles per hour. All of this you could get from keeping a smartphone on you, recording the GPS coordinates while you ride. Right, there are many apps that do this. Right, and another accessory that didn't make the top 5 list, but is also very useful, is the adapter for the insect. Right, this allows you to pump up the bike tire at the gas station. So this may prove useful, right, because sometimes pumping a tire to 120 psi using a hand operated pump may be very difficult, right? When you reach above 80 psi, you may find that it's very difficult to operate the pump, right? And also in operating the pump at that high psi, when you're applying such strength to the pump, you may damage your insect, right? You may damage the insect on the tube. So you find that having this accessory allows you to use compressed air. You use the pump at the gas station and you pump straight up to 120 psi without having to break a sweat, right? So this cheap accessory is good. You could keep it on one of your insects, right? So if you need to pump your front tire, just switch it, right? You could just, or you could keep it in your saddle bag, right? But it's really useful to have this accessory. So that's it. That's the top 5 road bike accessories, right? And they have really made cycling easier for me. So I just thought I would share them with you all. And overall, I would say this is an excellent bike. It hasn't given me any problems, right? Mechanically, it has been very reliable, right? So you could check it out.